Sup lifters, this is the first real day of training every day since the last one was the pilot. This is the first day. First of all, I want to mention that in the last video I said that one friend of mine which lifts actually isn't open about stuff, which isn't true. He absolutely is open to other stuff, but I feel like that the places from which he learns and how do I say it, and basically informs himself about the topics of the gym aren't exactly the best one. I believe he's finding more bro science than real training methods. Another thing that I said was that I was eating normally, and with normally I wouldn't really say completely normally, which means I still have some control. There are still some stuff that I avoid and that I just don't feel like eating, and at the same time there is some junk which I like to eat, such as yogurts, like with sugar and stuff, and like sometimes some biscuits, and that's perfectly fine. Whenever I will be willing to cut, those will be the first thing that I will try to just remove from the diet. Anyway, today's session was pretty decent. As you can see, I'm warming up. I didn't record every single warm-up that I did because I started doing some Arnold presses with 2 kilograms or 4.4 pounds dumbbells, which are extremely light, just to warm up the shoulders. And I did some Arnold presses, some lateral raises, and some rear delt raises in order to have my shoulders more compact. And as you can see here, I've been warming up with the bench, and there is a friend of mine, which I didn't really ask him to spot me because he really likes to steal my last reps because he always feels like I'm almost gonna fail, you know. So I told him, just no, don't worry, man, I'll just do it myself. Worst case scenario, I'll do a roll of shame and I'll just get pinned under the bar, but you know, it's whatever. Anyway, these are 65 kilos, which was my previous working set. I just recently started doing 70, and this is pretty interesting because these reps are definitely clean, I would say, although it doesn't seem like I have much of an arch. You will see during my last set that I actually have a decent arch. It's just that the t-shirt is quite oversized, so it doesn't really show it. This is my first working set, and as you can see, I'm preparing, and I don't really like my feet position. I feel like I could put them much closer to my body in order to improve my hip drive. Anyway, I hit 7 reps, which is good because last time I did 4 sets of 6, I believe. This time I did 7, 7, 6, 5, which is still better, although I kinda dropped the ball in the end since I just did 5 and I really wanted to hit at least 6. I went to 7, 7, 6, 6, but it is what it is. I did decently on the overhead press. Anyway, here you can see that I have at least decent arch. And this setup really feels good to me because previously I just tried to lift the bar and like I kept my butt stuck to the bar, to the bench, and then I unrocked the bar. But I really feel like they're doing it this way, so keeping the butt high and then putting it down really puts me in a better position where I feel as if I'm more, how do I say, I'm stronger. There is more tension throughout my whole body. Here I had to kind of reassess for a moment, which wasn't really the best. Either way, this was the last rep. Normally I could have tried the last one, but yeah, here I said no, I know that I don't have it in me, and it was extremely hard. Then we did overhead press, and we went just straight into the working sets. These are 30 kilograms, which I recently jumped up to because I used to do 25. And right now I divided it in 2 days. One in which I use pause overhead press with 25. That way I can really control the weight. And one day which I go a little bit heavier, which is this day because it's 30 kilograms, in which I don't want to say that I bounce it, but I try to groove it correctly in order to use the stretch reflex and help me kind of push through this plateau, since overhead press is something that I've found out it's really, really slow at progressing, or at least that's what I really feel like. And yeah, the set went decently. Yeah, my friend was hyping me up. And I also found out that if I keep the bar more towards my finger rather than the base of my hand, I feel like the bar goes more towards my center of gravity, and I feel way stronger when I'm pushing. and that has really helped me to go on and break my last plateau. I'm really happy to be recording these videos because it also allows me to speak more in English, which is not my first language, and I am really good at listening, since I mostly consume English content or American content, and but I never speak. So I listen a lot, I write it a lot, but I never really speak. So this is another really little thing that I really like. Also, I'm still sorry, but I'm trying to figure out where should I put my phone in every single exercise. I think I'll buy a small phone stand in order to keep it more consistent and like completely straight, because as you can see right now the squat is kind of in a diagonal position, but of course it's not in diagonal position, it's just the phone which is slightly turned. Now I'm doing a pause bench, and last time I did it with 45 kilograms, and today we didn't really want to do 50, I still wanted to do 45. However, me and my friend for some reason just randomly put on 50 and I didn't even notice. So I just did 13 reps, which would have been okay with 45. In fact, you will see that in my last set I will have much less reps than 13. But still I'm quite happy because I got a lot of reps, although the weight is much higher than what it should have been. And yeah, I'm really happy with this exercise. There was also something really nice about doing pause bench, which is that it really allows you to focus on the technique, since you can really pause and push from the bottom. I would like to do pin squats, but as you can see I really can't with this rack, which is pretty bad at the moment because I can't really regulate it anyway, like any way I want it to stay, because it just has four how do I say it? There are just 4 pins in which I can choose where to put those 2 red safety guards, and the black one are just too high. I think they are 150 centimeters at best, which is pretty high, which is much higher than what I can reach with my hands. Also, I wanted to give a little feedback about yesterday's training. I feel my hamstrings are completely sore from the Romanian deadlift. This was on another grinder, by the way. I really felt that it was kind of hard and my feet were slipping. I felt like my hamstrings are completely sore after Romanian deadlifts, and that always happens. It's crazy. I do a lot of RDLs always, and they always annihilate my legs. But I can still do the exercise, right? So I can do my 4 sets of 12. So I don't really understand why I get this sore, which in theory I can do even more probably. Either way, I'll keep going to 80 for a little bit more time until I feel completely comfortable, and then I'll bump it up to 85. Here I'm doing my superset. I really like to structure my training like this. I have 3 multi-articular movements, such as bench press, overhead press, and pause bench, which ideally I would substitute with dumbbell presses, but I don't really have enough weight for dumbbells, and they would end up being just way too light. Anyway, this is the first superset, which are tricep push down and some rear delts work with the bands, which I found extremely comfortable, especially after overhead press. I really like it because it allows me to push a lot of the volume, because I do this exercise 4 times a week, and the shoulders, or at least my shoulders, can take a lot of volume and a lot of working sets without ever feeling too sore. I tried, as you can see, to record it again, just leaving the phone on the ground, but the angle was just terrible. Actually, it's extremely bad, and I mean, you will see that this was the last set, and I think I did a decent amount of reps. I don't really remember, I think it was like 11, but like I couldn't catch me doing the rear delt work, so I just cut that part. Either way, I did both exercises as before. And then jumping on, we have the next superset of today's training, which were Lat Raises and Skull Crusher. And I did the Skull Crushers with the towel, which I really enjoy, because first of all it allows me to train a little bit my grip, which is a very weak part of mine, especially because I have very small hands, and allowing me to grip the towel can at least help me improve it a little bit, since we'll also be doing some more forearm work later on. Anyway, I really enjoy doing skull crushers like this. I get no pain on my elbow, I don't get any pain on anything. I really enjoy it. And also I can like change the weight however I see fit, and it's pretty easy to do because I have the big plates, which will be the majority of the weight, and then I have the 1 and 2 kilograms, which are the smaller one, like 2.2 pounds or 4.4 pounds for the 2 kilograms one, and I can just modulate the weight however I want. As you can see here, I have to put it down, flip the phone up, and then in order to allow myself to be seen on camera, and I do these lat raises with 10 kilograms, which is decent. I think it's decent, and I also think that the shoulders are one of my best body part for really no reason at all. I was born like this. I'm really happy about it. I have quite wide clavicles, and I also believe that something else that helped me a lot were the dips, because I never really did any kind of work in the shoulders during the years where I didn't have the barbell. So from March 2020 to March 2021, I just did dips, but I tried to do dips for my chest and triceps, which is kind of ironic. Since chest, I believe it's kind of underdeveloped. Anyway, this is the last set. As you will see that I almost fail, or I actually fail and I can't really get the weight up, and I need to move it on the side. And yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this session. We will have another training session like this, which will be on today is Tuesday, so on Friday, I believe. And the main idea is to do a legs push pull, and putting the push day between the legs and the pull allows the lower back and like the back in general to kind of rest, because both squats and deadlifts of course tax the lower back, so having them programmed 2 days in a row isn't the best idea. Of course we still get Wednesday and Thursday, where we will have a pull day and a leg day. However, on the second leg day, I'm not sure if I'm going to do RDLs. I'll probably just squat, and as you saw, my squat is very suboptimal since I never trained legs. I started like 2 months ago, so it's a really weak body part of mine, and yeah, so I don't really think that is gonna tax my lower back that much. Also, I don't wear any knee sleeves, no belt, no nothing. The only thing I use are straps, because my grip can't hold the bar, and I don't really want to use a hook grip or a mixed grip for reasons that maybe I'll touch on later on. Anyway, here I'm showing a little bit my physique. I really like my back, although this lighting isn't really doing me justice. However, you can see that it's decently developed, and my shoulders are pumped up and big right now, which are one of my best body parts. You will also see how small my legs are in comparison, and especially the left one, which is also the reason why yesterday I did bigger split squats only with my left leg, because I'm trying to play in catch up. And one thing that is pretty interesting is that I talked with another guy which told me that you're only as strong as your weakest link, so I shouldn't really worry about training unilaterally. But at the same time, I feel like that my left leg can't really catch up with the right one if my right one pushes for 60% and my left one just for 40%. I will keep going up slowly, of course, and my left leg will improve, but it will never catch up the right one. So I don't really know what to do. This is my last superset, which is the one for the forearms, and the next clip is a little bit more zoomed, and you will see what I'm doing. I'm doing, first of all, a wrist squeeze. I call them like this. I don't really know what's the official name of the exercise, but I basically hold the bar at the tip of my fingers, and I just squeeze my hands, just like when I'm trying to make a fist. Here you can see it a little bit better, as you can see. And after I finish that, I grab the bar and I just curl, and that way I can train all the lower part of the forearm, and that's the main idea. I do have some exercises for the upper part of the for the forearm, but right now I can't really do them both. I can only do the curls, which you will see tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. This was today's training session. I'm really happy with how it's going. Maybe tomorrow I won't talk about training. Maybe I will. Maybe just something about the deadlift. But I didn't have too much to say today. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you all tomorrow.